ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै गुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं वदन्ति स वदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापद्गम्यं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां सारजातां सहगना रघुनाथामृतं तं तदेव सावधेतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितां च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य चकारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णे कन्या नामने गौरते नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते सप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी कृष्णानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna. So today is a very auspicious day. Reference of Gopal Bhatt Goswami. So we are starting our Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. And this will be a few Sunday series and also as a part of syllabus of Bhakti Shastri. So we are beginning a new module, and I request all Bhakti Shastri devotees to open their videos. So actually, Nectar of Devotion is law book of ISKCON. Yesterday we were reading, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying that I have come to sell these fruits, but in Banaras, Varanasi, nobody is ready to take the fruits. So I'm ready to sell it very low cost, just lay low there. So what cost is required to get love of God and is something very, very high. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving it very less price. Just take it. And to get this love of God and to understand it properly, Rup Goswami Pal has written Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. To understand the love of God very systematically, scientifically, and how to cultivate it, this nectar of devotion is written. Now, everything is from the scriptures. Right? Actually, in one sense, a lot of practices we are already doing on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Mangalarti, incense, right? Chanting the holy names of the Lord, Srimad Bhagavatam. So where it is given that we should do like this? Yes. So NOD, it is being compiled from different scriptures. So let us begin. So today's introduction session of our Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So this is Ration 2's PPT of Bhavataram, which is something very amazing introduction for Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Yeah. VrajaKrishna, a nectar of devotion lecture series. Krishna Shri Gaurahari. Ugadiya Dukhina Kapahana. Taranga Bole, Nana Rupe Mana Chale. In this way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lamented in a great ocean of sadness, and thus he opened the doors of his unhappiness. Forced by the waves of ecstasy, his mind wandered over transcendental mellows, and he recited another verse. So this word Bhavataram came from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstasy, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, the nectar of devotion, the complete science of Bhakti Yoga. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Rupa Goswami for 10 days as Dashamev Ghat in Prayag. And Rupa Goswami internalized all the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and presented them as Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother, Sachi Mata, told him that better don't go to Vrindavan, stay in Jagannath Puri. Of course, Lord has a reason because Jagannath is in mood of separation. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being in the mood of Srimati Radharani want to experience those feelings of separation being in Jagannath Puri. But he handed over the word of spreading Krishna consciousness to the Goswamis. And it was a one-to-one class by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami. 10 days, full seminar. At Dashamev Ghat, near the Bandhas. And in that 10 days is a whole philosophy of our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, what we are practicing today. And based on this 10 days lecture series, Rupa Goswami has written many books there. And same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave lecture series of more than a month or 2 months to Sanatana Goswami in Banaras. And then Sanatana Goswami wrote many books, Hari Bhakti Vilas, Brihad Bhagavatam, and many books about the sanskaras had been written by Sanatana Goswami. So Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami wrote many books, which becomes the basis of our Krishna consciousness. In fact, these two books, Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion, they are the two main books for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas to practice. See, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give is something very high. And we are at the ground or below the ground. Below the ground. So how the people who are on a ground level consciousness can catch the high consciousness what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give us there. So a proper step of series is being given by the Goswamis. They live that path and they left the path for us. So the great souls, they bring the boat by which we can cross this world. And they leave that boat for us here. So we can also cross the material ocean. And we every day we see Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yen Bhutale. Chaitanya Manobhishtam. So who understood the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Shri Rupam Kadamaya Vadanti Sa Vadanti. My obeisance to Srila Rupa Goswami. Because we are Rupanugas. We are Rupanugas, the followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. Prabhupada will always say. So we are Prabhupada and Rupanugas, the followers of Srila Prabhupada and followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. And one time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was singing a song of separation from Krishna, but that looked like a movie song. And nobody could understand why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu singing like this. But Rupa Goswami wrote the internal meaning of that song. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a mood of Srimati Radharani at Kurukshetra, taking Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Krishna Balaram back. And in that mood, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is singing that song. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that, how Rupa Goswami knows the meaning of my heart. He slapped him gently, lovingly. And then Sarup Damodar Goswami said, Lord, no doubt you have bestowed all your mercy to Rupa Goswami. The whole Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahavishnu is Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. To establish within this material world the mission of to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya. And still Rupa Goswami is directing the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, Prabhupada had a darshan of Srila Rupa Goswami when he was writing the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Rupa Goswami blessed him that you go and take this message and spread all over the world. So, this Acharya is not that they have gone, they are there. Srila Prabhupada is there, and that's how our preaching is going on by all of their mercy of the previous Acharyas. And I was thinking, who is deciding which soul will come when which great soul will come when to deliver the jivas? Who decides? So some of Parampara only. Like Narottam Das Thakur is coming, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted it. So which great soul will come to deliver? That's the mission lies into them. Like we decide this preacher will go there. Swam Rupa Karamaya Gadam. When will Srila Rupa Goswami give me shelter under his lotus feet? In the God Ganodesh Dipika, the identities of all the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given. So we know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Same way when Krishna comes, all the associates of the Lord also comes. So, so many associates of Nityananda Prabhu are Gwalbal. And associates of Lord Gauranga, they are Manjaris, Sakhis, like Sarup Damodar and Ramananda. They are Vishaka Sakhi and Lalita Sakhi. There. And Rupa Goswami there and all other Goswami, they are the Manjaris. Manjaris are the assistants of Sakhis. Like morning we sing, no? Ei Nivedan Dara Sakhi, Anugata Karo, Seva Adhikar Diye Karo Nil Das. So in Goloka Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani is lovingly served by 8 principal gopis, of whom Lalita Sakhi is the dearest friend. So this intimate maid servant of Srimati Radhika are assisted by 8 main manjaris, which Sri Rupa Manjari being the leader. The Sri Rupa Manjari, so she is bringing the group of other manjaris to service of Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna. And so they please the sweet divine couple by carrying messages, preparing tasty beverages, stringing fragrant flower garlands. That's why we say our goal is just to please Radha and Krishna. So see them happy and to glorify them. So when we understand who is the author, then we can understand his writings also more better. So in their pure spiritual forms as Nectar and Manjaris, the 6 Goswamis plus Loknath and Krishna's Kalyan Goswami comprise the inner circle of Manjaris. So there, since Lord Chaitanya's time, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Acharyas in their spiritually Manjari form serve Lalita, Vishakha and Radha Shyamsundar under the direction of Srila Rupa Manjari. So Rupa Manjari is the head and all Acharyas they serve under Srila Rupa Manjari. And here is a list of all the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas who have come. What is their spiritual name? Given in Gaon Kanadesh Deepika. So Rupa Manjari is Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. Jeev Goswami is Vilas Manjari. Sanatan Goswami is Labanga Manjari. Raghunath Das Goswami is Rati Manjari. Raghunath Bhatt Goswami is Rad Manjari. And Gopal Bhatt Goswami is Anand Manjari. Right? Today's Gopal Bhatt Goswami's appearance is Anand Manjari. Krishna Kaviraj is Goswami is Kasturi Manjari. Loknath Goswami is Manjulali Manjari. Shri Jagannath Das Bhavali is Rasika Manjari. Narsandas Thakur Chamaka Manjari. Krishna Dev Thakur Vinod Manjari, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Kamal Manjari, and Gaur Krishna Gavali Guna Manjari, and Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur Naina Manjari. And Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur will say, we are not devotees of Krishna, we are devotees of Radha Rani. And because Radha Rani loves Krishna, so we worship Krishna. So because their mood is, because Manjari are directly serving Radha and Krishna, and they are under Srimati Radha Rani. So their devotion to serving, assisting in the pastimes of Srimati Radha. And this is actually the greatest service in Madhurya Bhav. In the Madhurya Rasa, the relation these pastimes of conjugal love in the spiritual. And their only happiness is just to see Radha and Krishna happy. They don't look for their own happiness. That Krishna will come, dance with them, Krishna will no. Their only happiness is just to see Radha and Krishna happy. And this is the mood of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And that's why Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a Mahamantra, because we are asking for serving the divine couple. But please engage us in service of the divine couple, Radha and Krishna. Okay. So one time, the pastime also happened, the Gopal Bhatt Goswami disciple is Srinivas Acharya. And Srinivas Acharya's disciple is Ramchand Kaviraj. Now, Srinivas Acharya sat in meditation. And 2 days passed by, 3 days passed by, he did not came back out of meditation. He went into Samadhi. And all are worried, what happened? Our Guruji, where he has gone. And then they called his disciple Ramchand Kaviraj. The Ramchand Kaviraj also came and he also sat in meditation, to bring his Guruji back. Now, what had happened? Srinivas Acharya, he had gone actually in his meditation to the spiritual world and serving his spiritual master, Gopal Bhatt Goswami Anand Mandir. So what had happened, Radha Rani's one Nupur had fallen in the river. So they were searching it. So Gopal Bhatt Goswami told to Srinivas Acharya, who was a Manjari. And then Ramchand Kaviraj came in the meditation in Golok Vrindavan. So he told to Ramchand Kaviraj also that you find. And then Ramchand Kaviraj, the Naina Manjari, I do not remember the name, so she found the Nupur, gave to Srinivas Acharya, and Srinivas Acharya gave to Gopal Bhatt Goswami, and then gave to Srimati Radharani. And then both of them came back. So that is their eternal service. And that's why we say, Nikunja Yuno, Tatikena Siddha, Yaya Nidhiyo, Tekshaniya, Tatrati Daksha, Dati Vallabhasya, Vande Guru Shri Charanaranda. So actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was an original Manjari form. In one pastime come, many people were opposed to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. They wanted to kill Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur came to know. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur went inside and they were waiting when Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will come, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And one small girl came. And seeing that small girl, all their anger went away. And actually that was Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And it manifested Veena. So all these acharyas, they are Nitya Siddhas coming from the spiritual world just to deliver us with the complete band of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And to that degree, we take their teachings very, very seriously. To that degree, we can also go back to Gadar. So there are many more pastimes, but we have limited time to cover that. So before creation, this cosmic manifestation, the Lord enlightened the heart of Lord Brahma with the details of the creation and manifested the Vedic knowledge. In exactly the same way, the Lord, being anxious to revive the Vrindavan pastimes of Krishna, impregnated the heart of Guru Goswami with a special potency. By this potency, Srila Guru Goswami could revive the activities of Krishna in Vrindavan, activities almost lost in memory. In this way, he spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. So listen, 6 Goswamis. Nana Shastra Vicharnako Nipuno Sadharma Sanstapako Lokanam Vikarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanayam Kako Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajana Namve Namatariko Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Raghunath Goswami, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, Shri Dev Goswami, and Shri Gopal Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizing the studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are abscond in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Sri Radha and Krishna. So, Nana Shastra, various scriptures. So, they're very expert. So, they will get scriptures from various places, and assimilate it. In fact, when Rupa Goswami was writing, so because the leaves will take time to dry, so first he will write first page, then he will write third page, then write fifth page, and then he start writing second page, fourth page, sixth page. Just think about it. To write the content of the third page without writing the second page. How expert those Goswamis were in writing. So Nipuna, who are uniquely expert, Sub-dharma of Sansatapako, they established the Sub-dharma for Kaliyuga. Lokanam Hitakarya, for all living beings who are performers of beneficial activity throughout the world. Tribhumane, who are worthy of honor, Sharanyaka, worthy of taking shelter. And who of Radha and Krishna, they are blissful, they are intoxicated with the mood of gopis in the bliss of worshipping Radha and Krishna. The lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna. Vande Rup Sanatana Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopal. In 1933, Srila Prabhupada's initiation, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati instructed him to study this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the law book on devotional service. So that makes our authority whatever practices we are doing within ISKCON or in our spiritual life. The Prabhupada accepted sannyas in 1959, moved to an upstairs room at the Radha Damodar temple under the shelter of Rupa Goswami, and concentrated his energy on translating into English and purporting the Srimad Bhagavatam. And there Prabhupada had darshan of Srila Rupa Goswami. And Prabhupada will be always watching from his window, always watching the samadhi of Rupa Goswami and see. So entering the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So the word Bhakti Bhakti means devotional, devotion. Rasa, the manner of devotion. So rasa is mellow, relationship, the mellows of devotion. Amrita, nectar, or eternal. Sindhu, ocean. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu means the nectar of devotion, nectarian ocean of devotion, or the mellows of devotion. That's all, nectar of devotion. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And what is Rasa Prabhupada defining? Every service has some attractive feature which drives the servitor progressively on and on. That force which drives the philanthropist, the householder, and the nationalist is called Rasa, or a kind of mellow whose taste is very sweet. See, this word Rasa is very important to understand in our spiritual life. See, initially, people have one rasa. In Krishna consciousness, when we come, we experience a rasa of relief. Oh, material misery is Shakti Mili. And we think that to be Bhakti rasa. And that's why after 4 or 5 years, we feel that spiritual life में कोई taste नहीं आ रहा है. It's looking very hackneyed, same old things, kuch rasa nahi aa raha. Because actually we have not tasted bhakti rasa. What we have tasted? Rasa of relief from material needs. Pareshani se chutti. Actual bhakti starts when we have a bhakti rasa. When we have bhakti rasa, the manner of devotional service, then the actual devotional service starts for a devotee. There. This is called Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. There. So what is this rasa? Now you see, parents never get bored taking care of their children. Children will get bored. Kya mummy, same question you ask every time. No, when I call you. You don't get bored, but parents never get bored. Why? There is a juice in relationship. Like, you see, a man works very hard. Prabhupada explains, a man works very hard to earn money. And what he does, working hard, give that money to his family members. Right? And then people, just person's salary maybe 5 lakh per year, but he will send a son to a school where 3 lakh per year salary is there. And he don't mind it. Why? He's deriving great rasa and serving his family. The juice is not coming from the work. The juice is coming on serving the family. The same way, the Indian rasa makes a person who works very hard. A devotee also derives great rasa in serving Krishna. Which derives the devotee? Yeah. So there is a mundane rasa which is based on bodily relationships, which have some juice. And there is a bhakti rasa which is based on serving Krishna. Even a philanthropist is also driving some rasa to do selfless work for others. But there is a difference between mundane rasa and bhakti rasa. There is a difference between mundane rasa and bhakti rasa. So what is that difference? The difference is, see, bhakti rasa is eternal, but mundane rasa is only till this lifetime. Right? It gets interrupted. Then, person in mundane rasa is not satisfied. He gets bored with that rasa only within this life. Like, he will go and work very hard in the office, then he want to go for a holiday. But then after a holiday for something, he'll start feeling bored and will want to do work. So nothing will, it's like a pendulum, chapala there. Whereas a bhakti rasa is eternal. Bhakti rasa is eternal, giving a great joy to the devotee. So this nectar of devotion is a whole science how to find that mellows of devotional service. Like Krishna says, Tesham satata yogdana bhajatam priti purukam dadami bhuti yogam tam yenama vayanti te. That our devotees are engaged in serving me. Tesham satata yogdana bhajatam priti purukam. The Dhami Buddhi Yogam Tam. I give the intended by they come to me. So there's Sesham Satata Bhajatam Priti Purukam. There is a narrow. There is a like Machitta Madhata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantastamam Nitya Krishnantita Ramantita. So they're discussing about me, the devotees feel a great satisfaction. And so Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is a complete science that doing what, then we will come to the complete stage of Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. And how to do Vidhi Bhakti. Now we are doing Vidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti of Vidhi. Vidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So what are the definitions, how Bhakti should be performed, and how a person will make progress to come to the final stage by the process of devotional service. Like every day we are performing Bhakti. Every day we do Mangal Aarti. Every day we are chanting the holiness of God. Every day we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So how doing all these things will attain love for Krishna? So it itself is a great science. It's not something awkward. It has a great science behind it to attain love for Krishna. The Rasamrit Siddha. So every service has some attractive feature. Every service has some attractive feature which drives the servitor progressively on and on. So fake love grows, genuine love does not. Why does familiarity in this world leads to contempt? Right? But Lakshmi is everlastingly eager to serve Lord Narayan lotus feet. How? So there is a mundane love, there is kama, and there is prema. Atma indriya piti vancha tare bole kama. Krishna indriya piti vancha tante bole prem. So in lust, person think, what can he, she do for me? And love flows outward selflessly. So genuine love is service, not just a feeling. Genuine love is voluntary, not compulsion. Genuine love is selfless, opposite to selfishness. And genuine love is with sacrifice and pain, free from unrealistic expectation, respect, unconditional tolerance, security. So now we will see from the book Waves of Devotion. So Waves of Devotion book is a commentary. It's written from the commentary of Jeev Goswami and Vishnu Jagari Thakur on Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So written by Danvir Maharaj, and I've put that in the WhatsApp group of the Bhakti Shastri group so devotees can see. So here Maharaj had taken from Prabhupada books and also from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu and explained what is Bhakti. Yeah. So Prabhupada writes, in the primary stage, a child loves his parents, then his brothers and sisters, and as he daily grows up, he begins to love his family, society, community, country, nation, or even the whole human society. But a loving propensity is not satisfied even by loving all human society. That loving propensity remains imperfectly fulfilled until we know who is the supreme beloved. So everybody is loving somebody or the other in this world. Right? Everyone is loving somebody or the other because this propensity to love and serve is there. And if somebody is not loving somebody, they will bring a dog. Yes, Western country, dog is the most dear because he doesn't argue and he does whatever you say. So people will not have good relationship with any of the family members, but best person whom everybody will love will be the dog in the family. So everybody is looking for that love. But that loving propensity keep increasing. Like child first loves, oh, mommy, papa, then mere bhai bhi hai. Right? Like that, the loving increase. Oh, my family, then my city, my state, my community, my country, planet Earth. Then the love keeps on increasing. But that love gets satisfied only when one loves Krishna, because Krishna is the source of everything. Everything is in the Lord. Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samahatma Su Dallava. So that loving propensity can never get satisfied without loving Krishna. So this is a preface of Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. So Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the reservoir of all rasas. So Krishna is called Akhil Rasamrit Sindhu. So generally Mayavadis think that Lord has no rasa, he is Brahman. Right? But devotees know Krishna is supreme rasa. Akhil Rasamrit Sindhu. Just like we like relationships because Krishna likes relationships. Just like we like have relationship of friendships with somebody, relationship of loving madhurya with somebody, relationship of vasalya, caring for somebody, having serving somebody, and mutual relationship with somebody. So Krishna, because these relationships are full in Krishna, so as jivas, we also have a tendency to love like that. But Krishna is a Purusha, we are Prakriti. We are meant to offer this love to Krishna. So Krishna also, so therefore there is survivorship, friendship, parenthood, conjugal love, comedy, compassion, fear, challenge, ghastliness, wonder, and devastation. And then further Rupa Goswami says, he is the supreme attractive form, and by his universal and transcendental attractive feature, he has captivated all the gopis, headed by Taraka, Palika, Shyama, Lalita, and ultimately Srimati Radharani. Let his lordship's grace be on us so that there may not be any hindrance in the execution of this duty of writing nectar of devotion, impelled by his divine grace, Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Prabhupada. And Prabhupada is offering his obeisances to Rupa Goswami and his spiritual master. So Rupa Goswami was giving credit to Sri Sanatana Goswami that Sanatana Goswami feel transcendental praise in the service of Radha and Krishna. And then Rupa Goswami very humbly prayed that I am not qualified to write this word. And Prabhupada says all preachers should run from Rupa Goswami. We should never feel ourselves qualified to present any preaching or anything. It's just depending on Guru Parampara. So this is a mode of Parampara, that we have no qualification. And many times Srila Prabhupada will also write that we have no qualification to preach. But my only qualification, I'm just repeating doing the order of my spiritual master, Om Vishnupad, Shishmat, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So that is our only qualification to preach. Now, Rupa Goswami gives very nice analogy. Prabhupada says that let us offer our respectful obeisances to all great devotees and acharyas who are compared to sharks in the great ocean of nectar and who do not care for various rivers of liberation. Impersonalists are very fond of merging into the supreme like rivers that come down and merge into the ocean, and the ocean can be compared to liberation and rivers to different paths of liberation. So it's called Makara. A devotee is called Makara. Makara means shark. Shark you will not find in the rivers. Shark will in the ocean. So the path, so rivers are compared to the path of self-realization, which finally comes and merge in the ocean. But the fishes don't come to the ocean. So the impersonalists, they remain only in the flowing rivers. But the devotees, they enter the ocean of bhakti, like the Makaras. Now, the impersonalists say we merge into the Supreme Lord, but that doesn't happen. Only rivers merge, but the fish doesn't merge. The impersonalists who are in the river, they do not merge into Brahman. Their identity remains as it is. And even they go into the ocean also, the identity of fish remains as a fish. Fish does not become an ocean, right? But the different parts of self-realization are merging into the ocean in Supreme Lord, but the impersonalists do not merge. Plus, impersonalists, they are in the rivers of self-realization, which are shallows. But devotees, they are like fish who goes deep into the ocean. And when you are deep into the ocean, Maya cannot catch you. An ultimate bliss the devotees are desiring. And the purpose Rupa Goswami have written, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is to defy the atheists, the impersonalists and the karmis, the jnanis and the karmis, because they put a lot of logical arguments. So one work which even jnanis and karmis cannot touch. They say that the ocean of the pure nectar devotion service from the argumentative logicians who unnecessarily meddle in the science of service to the Lord. And he compared their arguments and logic to volcanic eruption in the midst of ocean. In the midst of ocean, volcanic eruptions can do very little harm. So it is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Similarly, those who are against devotional service of Lord and who put forward many philosophical theses cannot disturb this great ocean of devotional service. And Prabhupada said we should never think of ourselves as great teachers, but should always consider that we are simply instrumental to the previous acharyas, and simply by following their footsteps, we may be able to do something for the benefit of suffering humanity. Now, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is divided into 4 parts. Just as the ocean is sometimes divided into 4 parts: Eastern, Western, Southern, Northern. So this 4 vibhav, the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is divided into 4 parts. So in Bhakti Shastri course, we are going to discuss only the Eastern part, that is first 19 chapters. Nectar of Devotion book has almost 33 chapters, but we are going to discuss only 19 chapters. Because Eastern way has a normal bhakti, the categorizations of bhakti. So east, south, west, and north. So I will show you the description of these four oceans. Yeah, so this is the content. So this is eastern side, varieties of bhakti. Southern side, overview of rasa. Western side is primary rasas. You know, Sakhya, Dasya, Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, and all this rasa. And northern side is secondary rasas. 7 plus 2 more, 9. And in that one division is called a wave. Like ocean will have waves. So Eastern Ocean have how many waves? 4 waves. One is overview of devotion. Second is Vedi Sadhana Bhakti. Third is Bhava Bhakti. Fourth wave is Prema Bhakti. So this is a categorization of Bhakti. So we will be reading only the Eastern side. And the Southern side, which is Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvik Bhava, Vivchik Bhava, Sthai Bhava. So they are further expressing the level of Prema, which we are not going to study. And then Western side is the first primary rasa. This also we are not going to study. So we'll discuss what is Vedi Bhakti, what is Bhava Bhakti, what is Vedi Bhakti Shastri. It was a great Eureka for me. I never understood that Bhakti is so sweet. Generally, we think Bhakti has some rules and regulations. At the end, oh, Prabhu, ye follow that. We are not able to follow it. And we live with that guilt and something without knowing how Bhakti is so sweet. Bhakti is so sweet and nectarian. We just, अरे मुझे सुबह उठा देते हैं मम्मी पापा, you know, करके. Or every day morning we have to come. Otherwise, you have to write Maha Mantras. You know, so like this, a person may feel like guilt. अरे हम भक्ति नहीं, guilt practice कर रहे हैं. At sometimes, you know, rules regulation there, but the bhakti gets missed. But when I read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, then I said, oh, bhakti is so nice, bhakti is so sweet. It's not the rules and regulation, is to actually bring that bhakti in our heart, to bring that sweetness for Krishna. Now, because we are from a modern engineering background, right? So to catch rules and regulation becomes easy, but to catch that bhakti element is very difficult. So in all our dealing, what we want. What do you mean bhakti means? Get up morning, chant 16 rounds, do this, that is bhakti. If you ask a general person. But actually that is not bhakti. How it is not bhakti? These are the practices to awaken the devotion for Krishna. That is the means for awakening. And it also is the end to awaken the devotion. But what Krishna is concerned about, the feelings we have, the intent we have. So initially we don't have the feelings. Right? But when we do the procedure, the way acharyas have taught, it will evoke the feelings one day in our heart. And that's why we follow all these rules and regulations to awaken that love for Krishna. So two types of people you will find. Who say, Prabhu, bahut bhakti mein anand aa raha hai. But they will do all self-gratification. Right? They will not follow any rules and regulations. So they will also never attain Krishna. They will remain in the pool of other types of people is बहुत rules and regulations है लेकिन बहुत dry हो गया है. There is no devotion. So then what happens over a period of time? People feel, oh, first they feel a sense of relief, and they feel, this is also like this only, and they go back to material sense gratification. But the devotees who practice rules and regulations with a great heart, the devotees who practices the rules and regulations with great heart, with the right understanding, they achieve the ultimate success in this path of bhakti. Like many times, we may go in the zone of false ego. In name of bhakti, we may be gratifying our false ego only. कि मैंने ये किया, मैंने वो किया, and we are thinking we are doing a lot of bhakti. But we were doing karma only, but we thought it was bhakti. We were doing karma mishra bhakti and we thought it is bhakti. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu only talks about pure devotional service. No Mishra Bhakti. Why? Because only pure devotional service can give the higher rasas of Sakhya Ras, Vatsalya Ras and Madhurya Ras with Krishna. The Mishrit Bhakti cannot give it. Same way Mishrit Bhakti cannot take a person to Golok Vrindavan. Karma Mishrit Bhakti, Yoga Mishrit Bhakti and Gyan Mishrit Bhakti can take a person to Vaikuntha but not to Golok Vrindavan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to take people to Golok Vrindavan. So therefore a book to show which has only Shuddha Bhakti is been spoken. In Bhagavatam, see, there is called Bhakti Mishra Karma and there is called Karma Mishra Bhakti. What is Bhakti Mishra Karma? You do lot of karma and add little bhakti into it. You know, thoda Bhagwan ko thoda jaake offer kar do at the end. That is called Bhakti Mishra Karma. What is Karma Mishra Bhakti? That we do work for Krishna. But what is Shuddha Bhakti is we do work in love for Krishna. You understand the three level of difference. So in Bhagavatam, Karma Mishra Bhakti, Yoga Mishra Bhakti or Gyan Mishra Bhakti is accepted. But in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, only Shuddha Bhakti is accepted by which one will develop prema for Krishna and go to Golok Vrindavan. And that is why studying Nectar of Devotion is something very, very important to understand what is that Shuddha Bhakti is. Now, yes, I was 2-3 days back talking to one devotee. He was telling, see, the Madhacharya has given a path by which you can never fall down. And gradually elevate and go to become demigod and go to the path of Brahma. This is one of the paths mentioned in the Vedas. Arjadi March there. And a person will go. And to think of going in one life back to Godhead is a very difficult phenomenon. But by mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can see how even the most fallen people of this Kali Yuga can dare to think that in one lifetime we can go back to Godhead, isn't it? Like one time one person went to some Brahmana in Karnataka, said, I want mukti. He said, hey, mukti is not so possible. You take 100 lifetimes to get mukti. But here we talk about mukti as if it is standing on the door only. You know, we don't want mukti also. And that's what Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu talks about, that a devotee even doesn't concern about mukti because he's driving a great rasa of bhakti. But our problem is neither हमें मुक्ति पता लगे ना भक्ति पता लगे, हम तो sense enjoyment में घूमते रह जाते हैं. So therefore, understanding the science systematically is very important to come out of the ocean of sense gratification. Now, currently we know only one ocean of Indriya Tirthi. Indriya Tirthi Rasamrita Sindhu. Indriya Tirthi Rasamrita Sindhu. And in name of bhakti also, and we will do Indriya Tirthi and we say, Prabhuji, हम bhakti कर रहे हैं, Prabhuji pizza खा रहे हैं, Prabhuji bhakti खा रहे हैं, प्रसादी तो खा रहे हैं. So we know only one rasa, Indriya Tirthi rasa. Okay. And to take our mati from Indriya Tirthi rasa to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, from Indriya Tirthi Rasamrita Sindhu to Bhakti Amrita Rasa Sindhu, it takes a great deal of study. So our intelligence become Rasaya Atmika Buddhi Eko Hi Kuru Nandana. Vishaya Chadiya Serase Majiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari Parama Karuna Pahudui Jana Nitai Gara Chande Sabu Avatara Sarashino Nani Kevala Ananda Chanda Bhaja Bhaja Bhai Chaitanya Nitan Sudhina Vishwashakori Vishaya Chadiya Serase Majiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. So leave this Vishaya Chadiya Serase Majiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. So further, Prabhupada said, first class devotional service is known by one's tendency to be fully engaged in Krishna consciousness, serving the Lord faithfully. So this is the definition of pure devotional service given by Srila Prabhupada. And another thing is, bhakti anushilana is a sort of cultivation. So this we will see in the next class. What is the definition of pure devotional service? Okay. And Prabhupada said, in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Lord Chaitanya said, it's a fortunate person who comes in contact with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. One who is serious about his spiritual life is given by Krishna the intelligence to come in contact with a bona fide spiritual master, and then by the grace of spiritual master, one becomes advancing Krishna consciousness. In this way, the whole jurisdiction of Krishna consciousness is directly under the spiritual energy, Krishna and the spiritual master. This has nothing to do with the material world. When we speak of Krishna, we refer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead along with his many extensions. He is expanded by his plenary parts and parcels, his differentiated part and parcel, and his differentiated energies. Krishna, in other words, means everything and includes everything. And generally, however, we should understand Krishna to mean Krishna and his personal expansion. So this we go to discuss in the next class. Any questions upon what we have discussed? Bhakti Rasa and Minden Rasa. And another thing you see is a Bhog and Tyaga. The Minden Rasa, the Bhautik Rasa has Bhog and Tyaga. It is Tapalsuk. Whereas Bhakti Rasa is eternal.
Can you give some examples in Bhagavatam that which shows that Dharmeshwar Bhakti and Gyaneshwar Bhakti is acceptable?
Yeah. So if you see Gyan Mishrit Bhakti, Maitreya Rishi is Gyan Mishrit Bhakti. Kardamuni, Yog Mishrit Bhakti. Right? So this they, but they are Shuddha Bhaktas. They, but their goal was Vaikuntha. They, but Vrajvasis Shuddha Bhakti 10th canto. Yeah.
This Goswami Swarupa we know like there are eternal history of the current acharyas who just came 2 years ago.
So there are Bhakti Siddhanta Weber, there are book where Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj at certain instance revealed his Sarupa. Should I answer any question?
Like two questions, Prabhuji. First question is like, who wrote this verse? Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale.
Any other question?
Second question is you were telling about the Madhvacharya Parampara. What is that thing you were telling, Prabhu? Like, what is the path which is mentioned?
Adhyadi path is very much mentioned. See, also there's a path of pure devotion service where you can go there, but they also talk about Adhyadi path. They don't pursue to and they come and then go to the demigods or beyond the demigods, and then you go to Brahma, and then finally you go. So that is Adhyadi path.
Ashtadi Marga.
Adhyadi path. It is given in Bhagavatam also.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So Bhagavatam talks about by performing bhakti, naturally Vairagya comes. So we don't have to worry about Vairagya, just practice bhakti. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatu Asha Vairagyam Jnanam Chaya Hetuka. Just by doing Shuddha Bhakti, Vairagya and Jnana automatically comes. Oh, just as Krishna is there in the spiritual world and he's here also. The same way his associates can be there in the spiritual world and can be here also. They can be together, both places. Just like yesterday only we saw that Krishna duplicate himself. Krishna expanded himself and went to Bahulashava also and Shrutadeva also. And same way sages also went both places. So by Lord's inconceivable potency, the acharyas can be there also, acharyas can be here also. It's another meaning of Nikunja, you know, Ratikela. Yes, Guru.
Prabhuji, this Gaura Ganodasha Deepika book is written by whom?
Yeah. Who wrote God Ganodesh Deepika? God Ganodesh Deepika. Kavi Karnapur answer came.
Prabhuji, sometimes some of our cousins they keep their name as Krishna friends, Rama, Krishna. Then when we call their name, like when we call Krishna's name, what is the difference? I mean,
It's a Namavas.
okay.
So Yen Ken Pakarin. So they don't know the importance, but when they are calling Krishna's name, it is Namavas.
Whether that is also considered as some devotion, Prabhuji?
Huh?
Whether that is also considered as devotion, some part of devotion?
Yeah,
To
so
keep
we'll be
them
discussing.
its names
We'll
also,
be
huh?
discussing. There's intentionally performing devotion, there is incidentally performing devotion service. The Shur Bhakti involves only intentionally performing devotion service, not incidentally. See, we also incidentally please Krishna, not intentionally please Krishna initially. But as we grow, we have to intentionally please Krishna. So that is will come next session. Pure devotion.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's already 9 o'clock. So we end over here. Okay, so Mr. Nupati, Jai Shri Krishna Party, Jai Shri Prabhupada. But we should announce qualification also.